Hi everybody, this is Miss Harmony09 and this is All Kinds of Randomness. And today I'm talking about loving yourself. I'm going to start with my story, and it starts out with me like I'm going to say up to middle school. Everything was pretty normal, but then I started to get picked on. And it is something that has stayed with me for a very long time, and it did eventually shape what happened to me for the next decade of my life. And some things I've been talking about recently resurfaced these feelings, but also helped me to move on from that. Um, I was picked on a lot, but I did have friends. I had one particular best friend. Her name was Tiffany, and like she knew what was going on with me, but she was my friend and she was there for me. And to this day, she is still my friend. We don't get to see each other as much as or we want to, but that's my homie. um, I also had another friend because this continued through high school. I also had issues in the high school. I did a lot of activities. I talked to a lot of people, but I was still having that same issue. And again, I had one friend that I knew I could talk to. Like, even if she didn't consider me her best friend, I consider her one of my best friends. And that was Tranisha, and she is my friend. Again, even though we don't see as much of each other as we want to, but when you graduate and you move away, you do your own things, you don't get to see each other as much as you would like to. Um, I wanted people to like me. I wanted to fit in, and I don't know what I would do. I would just go along with anything just to fit in with everybody. And even some people would tell me, oh, you gotta stand up for yourself and blah, blah, blah. But to me, some of the females were really aggressive, and I didn't feel like that was standing up for yourself. I just felt that was aggression. And I'm not really a type of person to deal with things in an aggressive way. I'm a really laid back person. So if I feel it's unnecessary, then I'm going to just let it. Ain't nobody got time for that. I was depressed. And I felt like nobody cared about me. So if nobody cared about me, why should I care about myself? That's how I felt. My family, I love my family. They try to talk to me, but sometimes it feels like your family doesn't understand. Or there's something that you can't talk to your family about. And although my parents always told me I could come and talk to them about things, it's just, when you're young like that, you think nobody understands. And it even hurt that I felt like I couldn't talk to them like that. Because I have a good relationship with my parents. As far as relationships go, I would do anything to please other people, or just close my mouth and like not say anything or say what I was feeling, or try to avoid confrontation in a relationship because I'm like, oh, they're gonna leave me, or oh, I'm basically they're gonna leave me, or I'm not good enough, or I just want them to stay with me. And the like, looking back on it, it was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I felt like I didn't deserve better. Like I couldn't do better. So I would just let them treat me any old kind of way. And relating to that, I have lupus, so stress plays a very important part in that. In another relationship I was in, I was very stressed. I ended up in the hospital a lot, and the stress just weighs on you so much, and it eventually, if it gets so bad, the depression and the stress gets so bad that it starts to physically hurt you. And I mean, I don't think it's even in just people with illnesses, but I mean people in general. Like, if your emotions overwhelm you that much, it can affect you physically. And like, for someone to affect you that much that you're hurting yourself is just terrible. Um, then later on, like after I graduated, I got to college, and it's kind of about finding yourself. Like up through high school, I went cheerleading, track, choir, went to all these different things. Thought about all these different careers I wanted to do, but I could never find anything that fit me, or I would try to make myself fit into something instead of finding something that fit me. And that made things difficult when you can't, say you're trying on a shoe and it's not your size, but you try to jam your foot in there. That's not gonna make the shoe fit. But when I got to college, I started getting like into art. I was always into art. I took art classes, and that helped me a little, but I was still in this relationship, and I was still downing myself like I don't deserve better, or I was just blind and would let go of a lot of things that were very obvious to other people, but I just didn't see it. It just didn't exist. Like, if I didn't acknowledge it, it didn't exist. But sooner or later, that stuff is going to come to light, and you can't ignore it anymore. Um, so when I got out of that relationship, I started to reflect on myself. And I started discovering a lot of things about myself. I didn't know that I didn't know anything about me until I was by myself. And sometimes you need that time to discover yourself. After you graduate from high school, you realize a lot of that stuff does not matter anymore. I mean, while you're going through it, of course, it's important, but after the fact, when you look back at it, it's totally irrelevant. And you're like, well, I wish I would have done this different. I wish I would have done this different. Well, if you're still in high school, there's something you can do about it. I mean, if I hadn't went through the things I went through, I wouldn't be where I am today. But if you can help it, help it. Like right now, like change right now. Just try. And another thing is having confidence. Even if you think you're unattractive, like I thought I was unattractive, or I'm overweight, or I'm fat, people don't think light skinned people get made fun of. Light skinned people get made fun of. I've been called a Simpsons character, light bright, I'm short, people make jokes about that. You know what? It's just words. At the end of the day, it's words. And nobody knows you but you. And even if you think you're unattractive, if you have confidence, somebody's gonna see that. Confidence is part of your appearance. Your confidence shows on the outside, like an outfit. You wear your confidence on the outside, like a nice outfit, and people will see it. You have to wear your confidence. And part of this transition period I was going through, I met my current boyfriend, which helped me see a lot. And he showed me that I do deserve better. And I was lucky to find someone as open-minded as he is. And I could be myself. I could finally be myself without having to hide or try to fit in. And I can finally feel like, oh, this person's not going to leave me. But it's not about having or putting your total confidence in somebody else and what they think, but if they make you feel like you can overcome things, or if they make you feel like you're better for something, then that's great. That's great. You shouldn't depend on anybody to feed your confidence. You should make your own confidence. Just even finding something that you like to do and taking pride in that and taking pride in your work. Finally, it's about loving yourself. I love myself. Now I love myself. Then I don't think I love myself. I love myself now. I take care of myself. I try to take care of my health, and I try to take care of my mental well-being. I don't let a lot of things bother me that used to bother me. I've recently got a lot of things off of my chest that have been clouding my mind, and it feels like something's been lifted off of my shoulders. And I didn't even know how heavy that weight was until it's lifted off. Like, if you need help, get some. If you need to talk about it, talk about it. Because when you feel that relief, it's one of the best feelings in the world, to feel that relief of something being lifted off of you. And when I talk about loving yourself, I don't mean being vain. Oh, I'm this, I'm pretty, I'm that, you know. I don't mean being vain. I mean not thinking that you're better than anyone, because I don't think anybody's better than anybody. But I'm saying you love yourself first. How can anybody else love you if you don't love yourself? And if you need help, get it. Okay, that's the end of my little, I don't know if you would call it a rant, but um that's the end of this video. This is all kinds of randomness. You can find me on my Facebook page at Miss Harmony Lupus Talks, or on Twitter at JHUBBASW. And thank you all for watching. I will see you next time I upload a video.